Right, well, welcome back to the second half here. 2-0, of course, the score line at half-time in favour of Town. No substitutions by the looks of things on either sides. And referee Mr Lynch about to start things off, counting his men, which is exactly what I've just done, actually, to make sure Southend don't sneak somebody on. Might sound a daft thing to do, but obviously the referee sees fit to do it. Paul Crichton in cap for this second half, so it's pretty sunny out there. Jim Dobbin hooks the ball away and Mendonca on the chase once again. Paul Groves under pressure, has to fight for it. Got himself pulled back there and Town get the free kick. I think we ought to be leaving this to somebody like Futch. Yes, Futch will take over. Jempson's the man making the run, goes towards him. Cleared only as far though as Agnew. Agnew's ball is a good one, looking for Mendonca, getting to the edge of the area. Jempson checks, the ball is still there. Falls to Agnew. Cross by Agnew. Oh, fallen for Dobbin, surely! Oh! Crikey! It was a great... I think everybody in the ground thought it was in it. It couldn't have been any closer to the crossbar. And old Jim Dobbin, who's got himself a couple of goals so far this season, thought he got another one there. Took it great on the chest, dropped to his foot, and just put it over the top. Oh, and Paul Groves there, well, not happy with that one at all. Well met by Graham Roger. Mendonca. Oh, great little touch there, Gary Childs. Here's Jim Dobbin. Jempson has peeled off one side, that's where it goes. Not enough on the ball. Dave Gilbert chasing his man down. This is Hunt. Still Hunt. Trying to get out of trouble, and he looks as though he's done well. It's not a bad ball. Jason Lee. In it comes, Graham Roger. Back to Jason Lee. Town standing off it a bit at the moment. Far post and out. So, goal kick to be taken by Paul Crichton. Up goes Jempson, beaten in the air, Bressington. Agnew, it's going to be a Town throw. Ball going out and coming back again by the look of it. Aggie with it. Dave Gilbert. Oh, good play by Jempson, and there's the layoff. Too much. Jempson just having a word with the referee. Whoa. Otto, a little bit of a barge on John McDermott. He's being forced wide. In comes the effort, and no problem for Paul Crichton. John McDermott did well there because he almost got turned by Otto. But he kept the right side of him, kept pushing him the wrong way. Crichton. Free kick given, yes, holding down. Groves. Immediately brings in Agnew. Dave Gilbert. Outside. There's a ball for Mendonca. Still Clyde Mendonca. Into the corner he goes. Now Dave Gilbert. Still Dave Gilbert. Past one challenge. Half past another. He was looking for a free kick, but it wasn't going to be. Good play by Agnew. Mendonca runs straight into the challenge. In the Southend, well, half get it away. And now, over on the far side, it's going to be Chris Powell. Pushes it forward. Otto. Good challenge by Jim Dobbin. Was it over there? McDermott should have said, here is Jim Dobbin. Dave Gilbert. A little bit of space for him. Dave Gilbert has to come backwards. Paul Agnew. Back to Dave Gilbert. Jempson's available. That's where it goes. He can turn. There's Jempson. Back again to him. It's all very tight. Dave Gilbert was obviously the man who wanted that ball. Roger following Angel. And now to Jason Lee. Futcher is there. Ball off Futcher. Southend throw. So still Town 2, Southend 0. Full grid light. Near post. Jason Lee, good header on. Oh, let's have a look. It's been left. And it's a good block. Gary Childs was the man who did well. Jempson having a tussle out there. Town not making the most of it. And here's Gary Childs. Jempson. Back to McDermott. Jim Dobbin. John McDermott again. All very tight. Oh, and Otto did well. It's a good challenge. Good player, this chap. Into the middle it comes, far post, and past everybody. And past Lee. So 6 minutes into this second half. Still 2-0 to Town. But yet to really impress. I mean, apart from that effort earlier on there from Jim Dobbin, which just flashed over the crossbar. Town yet to test Simon Royce, who of course is the goalkeeper from the bench. So Crichton. Good distance. But it's Bressington who gets in there. Now Otto. Gary Childs after him. Still Otto. Shade a handball. Nothing has been given. Gray and Roger away. Going to have to be played. Now back to Royce. Whoa! That's what they want. And Southend have got away with it. Otto. And there's the overlap. Good run. Great run by Powell. And lovely cross as well. Two coming in. And I reckon that was big Brett Angel. Coming in behind Paul Agnew, has taken a knock in the back. And the ball going behind for a goal kick. Good play though by Southend. And I think Aggie's suffering. He got one right in the small of the back there. Subs today for Town are Kevin Joblin and Craig Shakespeare, so if that injury is bad at all, which we certainly hope it isn't, but at least we can get Joblin in there at left back. Craig Shakespeare, of course, who's been in and out of the team so far this season. But Aggie certainly felt it. He's a big bloke, he's Brett Angel. Puts himself about a bit. Up on his feet now, but felt that one a bit, I reckon. And thankfully for Town, the header going wide. And the scoreline is still Town 2, Southend 0. The fans, of course, will start to get impatient. With no divine right, of course, to start scoring goals just because Southend have gone down to 10 men. They're still not a bad side for all that, but I've got a feeling that we probably will do with football like this, of course. Lovely one-touch stuff. Look at it. Gary Childs. Still Gary Childs. Still going. Great play. Dave Gilbert. Lovely play by Childs. Set this up. Here's Dave Gilbert. Oh, near post. I don't know whether it had gone in. I think it had probably been a side netting job. Royce wasn't to know that and just got a palm to it. But that was all set up from Gary Childs. So, Town's sixth corner. Dave Gilbert with it. Royce comes a long way and collects it. Good take. Gary Poole's clearance. Fair distance on it, John McDermott. Well, I don't know whether he got a call. He certainly should have had a call. Jason Lee, John McDermott, great play. Mendonca shoving the back. Now Jim Dobbin, I suspect. Got to be this side. Dave Gilbert calling Agnew to him. He wants the overlap. That's exactly what he's got. Paul Agnew. Deflected. Corner kick. The defender got the header on it. Corner number 7. This time Jim Dobbin. So, how are we going to have the short one? Not by the look of it. Near post, Jempson's looking for it. Royce gets a touch to it, and Otto. Oh, great play by Futcher. And that's going to fall for Town. I didn't think that was offside. I thought I got a deflection. Still, we haven't got it. Agnew has. Paul Groves. They're crying for the ball out. It wasn't. Paul Groves is yet to really make his mark on this game to date. Had that blistering shot in the first half. Whoa. Well, Royce left that a little bit late. Here's Jim Dobbin. Back to Dave Gilbert. Oh, great turn. Still Dave Gilbert, and it comes nasty one. He was looking at the far post. Royce collected it. Otto. Well seen. Whoops. John McDermott nearly had a go back, but I think Otto acknowledged that he'd fouled him. That was good. I certainly don't think it was deliberate by Otto. He's not that sort of player by the look of it. Well seen. Paul Agnew. Town go off again. Good ball. Mendonca. Agnew's in the middle. Clive Mendonca. Paul Agnew is couldn't reach anybody. Gary Childs, long distance. Oh yes! Marvellous strike by Gary Childs. Well, we said earlier that this fella's on form. He's on the transfer list, but he's scoring goals and making them. And that was a lovely strike, as good as you'll see. Top corner stuff. And young Gary Childs will be happy with that. 3-0 to Town, brilliant strike. Graham Rodger. And a Southend throw. Lovely finish. All started with Paul Agnew going to centre forward for a minute. Jason Lee at the other end. Into the middle it comes, and there is Agnew. And Futch pokes it away. Gary Childs a goal scorer to Agnew, to McDermott, should I say. Now at the other end, Clive Mendonca trying to get back into the act. Barry Fry on the bench, giving a few instructions, and well, his side's going to need some now, I'm afraid. 3-0 down. We've got another substitution to be made. It's number 7, John Hunt, who is going off, and this will no doubt be Tom Mooney, we suspect. Tom Mooney coming on. Oh, great ball. Can Mendonca get behind them all? A good ball that from Graham Rodger. Paul Agnew. Now then, Royce again, and he's done well, and that's nearly ours, that one. Here's Mendonca. Wants the support, and he's got Paul Agnew there to give it. And his little ball. Oh, Jempson tried to get that off to the chest onto Dave Gilbert, who used what little weight he's got to his best advantage, but unfairly as far as the referee could see. Free kick for Southend taken already. Graham Rodger. This time it's an up and under. Whoa. Jempson nearly getting his nose kicked off. Well played by Groves. Saw exactly where that ball was going to go. Now Gilbert feeds Mendonca into the middle again. Oh, wasn't the best of crosses actually, and it'd have been something if Jempson had got a goal out of that. Push there by Graham Rodger. Free kick will be Southend's, 5 yards inside the Town half. Angel with a flick on. Oh, great play by Futcher. Great play. And into the capable hands of Crichton. Well, we were saying Rowley is on the transfer list. He's not first choice for out there apart from injury, and scoring goals and making them, and that was a lovely strike from Gary Childs.
Yeah, I was in the box number 8, the Humberside people, Freddie Clyburn and Pete Winterman, eating their food. John, very nice indeed after the airport crap. And I thought Southend really didn't get the ball away, but there's no denying the strike. It was a top-class strike. And I understand, you know, could have been away, as you know, been away for a fortnight. Well, I think you as well, haven't you? But they told me Gary Childs is playing very, very well indeed. That's right. I was talking to John Tonder of Radio Humberside, and he says that he's playing out of his skin at the moment, and he is today. He's having a good game. Dave Gilbert showed too much. Now Futcher comes across. Whoops. And Brett Angel, I think that is, taking the ball away from Futcher, but taking the ball into touch. Town throw. So Agnew with it. I think Grimsby needed that third goal, John. Now we can play what I call exhibition stuff, and I mean, you can't really see Southend scoring 3 goals with 10 men, can you? No, dead right. Here's Powell. Oh, now Gary Childs, Mendonca, he's blocked it. Still Mendonca, surely. Childs clips it in. Mendonca, Gary Childs. Jim Dobbin saying, I wanted that. And the crowd appreciate it. Yeah, I think this is what's going to happen now, you know. The 3-0 up, they know the game is practically won. And you saw there, Southend aren't exactly the best team that's been here, John. And it's going to be a case, everybody now will want to score. Mind you, I don't think Futch will. We'd all love it if he did. Right, Jim Dobbin. Paul Agnew. There's a run, and yes, it was offside this time. But Southend trying to keep the composure. But there were spells before the goalkeeper was sent off where Town were certainly making them look second best. And this is, regardless of whether it's 10 men or not that we're playing against, this is not a bad Town performance. There's Otto, still Otto in there, and Futcher away. Thankfully for Town, I think the real thing is, despite the talents obviously of Otto and the power of Brett Angel and the skill of Jason Lee up front, they really haven't troubled Paul Crichton in this game. They're obviously a talented bunch. Here's Gary Childs. Well, he's got it through, and there's a run. Jim Dobbin. He's going to be second best on this one. Bressington, is it across or grid light in actual fact, and forcing a goal kick? So 18 minutes of the second half gone. 3-0 to Town. Mendonca 2, Gary Childs with a third one. Otto got the touch on, now Angel. Oh, now let's have a look. That's a good drag back. There wasn't much wrong with the drag back from Mooney, he had no people in the middle. Absolutely, he did everything that was asked of him, and the ball was running out, and he swung it back. There's Otto, and a little bit of a tussle there with Graham Roger. And free kick given to Town. Well, Town were due to score some goals at home, and looks like we've done it today. Crichton with it. Jim Dobbin, well, another chance for him. Now Groves.
No climb. Well, this is Payne. Good player, this chap. Still going. Brings in Lee. Still Lee. Fluffed it. I'm sure he didn't mean that. Crichton. Dave Gilbert. Oh. Well, messy. Futch. Crichton. Good header by Mendonca to Childs. Oh, Mendonca pulled around. Nothing's been given again. Bressington with a clearance off the chest of Angel to Otto. Still Otto. Caught up by Gary Childs, and Gary Childs might get this away yet. No. Still Southend, edge of the area. Powell. In it comes. Over the top. And that's where they've fallen down, Southend. So the Town management team will certainly want to see Town get some more goals on the score sheet. There were cries of push forward earlier on. I'm sure there'll be plenty more before this game's out. Now Futch. Futcher again. Now Jim Dobbin. Mendonca wants the ball to the space. Oh, well played by Mendonca. Even better, made a lovely ball to Jempson. This is McDermott on the overlap. Once again, good football by Town. Still John McDermott trying to get past Powell, but Powell's as quick as anyone. Ball in play. Powell's going to have to clear it. And he's done so towards Otto. Took it on the shoulder. Graham Roger. Still in play. Otto again. Futcher. Definite lull in proceedings at the moment, I'm afraid. Good long ball by Futcher. Met by Poole. And Town get it back again. Jempson, lovely touch inside. Now then, Mendonca. Still Mendonca, oh, tried to get it through. Groves was the man who had made the run forward, but he just hit it straight into him. Agnew. Paul Agnew again. Dave Gilbert. Agnew. There's a ball into the space for Dave Gilbert, it should be cleared. And it is by Poole. But Town trying to be patient, trying to build up. That's how we got the third goal in actual fact. And we might get another couple as yet. Let's see. Jempson trying to pull the man around. Here's Gary Childs again. Same distance. Good effort. Oh, it's another one. Well, the same end result, 4-0.
Yeah, what can Gary Childs do wrong? I mean, let's be quite honest about it, John. That should have been saved.
Yeah.
Gary did what he did. He just shot. It bounced in front of the goalkeeper.
It took a bad bounce.
Yeah, but if it had been at our end, I think Paul Crichton would have wanted to say, I should have stopped it. Yeah. But we'll take it 4-0.
We'll have it, and that's just that minute saying this is how the third goal came about, and it's how the fourth goal came about. Town just knocking the ball about easily. The ball falling to Gary Childs. Took a pot shot from the same distance. And after 24 minutes, we reckon, of this second half, Town go 4-0 in front. Or 4-0 up, should I say. And Gary Childs gets his second. And poor old Royce in goal there. It's yes, he'll be unhappy he didn't save that because he got across to it. It took a bad bounce in front of him, but he'll be unhappy that he didn't get that pushed away. Here's Gary Childs on a hat-trick, as is Mendonca.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, John, who do you fancy out of the two?
Well, I think the way Gary Childs is going, I've got to say him, I think.
I reckon Clive will get it.
Well, back to Royce. Paul Groves. Now we've got to hold this up. Jempson is offside. Here's Gary Childs. Graham Roger. John McDermott. Southend still trying to play. This is Mooney. And bad cross goes over the top. No, I think I'm going to get Gary Childs to fill my football coupon in next week, actually, the way he's playing. Crichton with a goal kick. Nearly a good ball. John McDermott. Now then, who's picking this up in midfield? Jim Dobbin spreads it immediately to Dave Gilbert, who calls in Paul Agnew, and that's where the ball goes. 3 in the middle. Oh, it's not a good cross, but let's see. Well, Nigel Jempson, that was a shame. He took a swipe at it, knocking it wide.
Without trying to be too biased, that really didn't deserve a goal, because it was a badly hit cross.
It was a bad cross by Aggie.
And it came to, you know, I mean, Jensen should have hit the target with it, no two ways about it, but I don't think Southend deserved that.
No, not from that. But there might be more from Town yet. Here's Graham Roger. Dave Gilbert. Jempson goes across. We'll settle for the throw. Agnew. Another Town throw. Groves. Back to Aggie. Paul Groves with a shove. Paul Agnew should let this go. Well, he's got Dave Gilbert and Paul Groves in support. Now then, Jim Dobbin. Ooh, trying to get forward, and he did do. Whoa, whoa, that's a foul. Silly foul as well, in actual fact, by Derek Payne. I don't know whether it warrants a booking. He was he's going to get one, I think, but frustration more than anything.
And to be truthful, and you know as well as Martin will be grinning in a minute, but Jim Dobbin handled that ball.
Dead right. Yeah, he kept it in play well with his hand. But and I think that's probably what was frustrating, that the referee didn't spot it. Jim was just about to get away. And poor old Payne, who's had a good game really, goes away with a flea in his ear, as I say, and a yellow card as well. So Town to plonk it forward again. Futcher. McDermott. Now that'll be Childs. Jim Dobbin. Well, they're trying to clip it over the top one way or the other, I think, there. Jim Dobbin stays on his feet. Paul Agnew. Graham Roger has gone forward. Dave Gilbert. Clyde Mendonca. Dave Gilbert. Paul Agnew. Wants a good cross this time, and it's got it, but Royce is there, and nobody really attacking it. There's nothing much wrong with a cross. Here's Otto, gone back into midfield to try and impress. Now Gridlight, still Gridlight. Now Town should clear. This is where we need to make it snappy, because Southend have put plenty of people up. Jempson, good ball, just hung on to it long enough. Dave Gilbert, only the one man in front of him if he wants to take him on, which is exactly what he's done. Dave Gilbert. Now then, Jempson tries to square it. Groves and a late challenge, and Town have got a free kick. Don't know as we really wanted it for that matter, but we'll grab it. We'll have some shooting practice.
I agree with that, quite honestly. The bloke made no attempt to contact the ball, and I think the referee was completely right.
Well, dead central, as we always say. Now, who do we fancy? Well, Gary Giles, I suppose.
Yeah, I think you got to fancy Gary to get his hat-trick. You know, 4-0 up, the game's over. I don't think Stan Flashman would get Barry Fryer out with this one. Ooh, I don't like to say that. That's somebody trying to get somebody booked.
Whoa! Yeah, you could see it coming, actually. And young Gary, applause from the bench. It nearly worked, just clipping the top of the bar.
Yeah, I mean, the game's over, John, as you well know, and the
10 minutes of the game left, I think, in actual fact. Sorry, 15 minutes of the game left, should I say. But here's Aggie. Let's have a look, because I think it's still here to play for. And here's Jempson. Lovely on the chest. 3 inside, 4. 4 inside. Jempson still on his feet. Good cross. Nasty one off the bar. Well, it's all happening.
Well, I've been looking through the programme to see who the goalkeeper is. There's no mention of him. He's obviously second choice, maybe third choice goalkeeper. It's very hard for, you know, clubs like Grimsby and Southend. I mean, we're very lucky. We've got two very good goalkeepers. So if one's injured, you know. But this lad certainly doesn't look the part to me.
No, he's tried to impress. He's come out and taken a couple of crosses quite well, but I'm afraid that, well, with the penalty, he's let in 3. It's not the sort of circumstances he wanted to come into the game as a result of. Well, ball a bit higgledy-piggledy, but Town certainly keeping the ball and making good use of it most of the time. It would be nice if we'd get ourselves a 5th one, wouldn't it? 4-0 as we stand. Otto, good play by him, trying to get Jason Lee in. Powell. Another throw. Oh, in actual fact, Town's favour. Jim Dobbin. Ah. Well, this is Pressington. Oh, it's in the back of the net. The Southend fans think it's great. It's a good job to stand with here, otherwise that bloke would have been on Cleethorpes Beach. Poor old Graham Bressington got up a good head of steam there, but ran the ball out. Town goal kick. Up goes Jempson in a good sandwich. Gary Giles through the middle. Oh, he's trying to pick out somebody. Nearly got Jim Dobbin in. Dave Gilbert saying, I want some of this ball. Graham Roger. Paul Groves. Gary Giles. Town throw. Mendonca, lovely take. Jempson, Dobbin, Agnew. Town pulling Southend around. Dave Gilbert. Paul Agnew, Dave Gilbert again. Back to Royce, who's going to have to clear it. Graham Roger stood his ground. Jim Dobbin. Futcher. Paul Agnew. Town stringing together 4 and 5 passes regularly now. There's Aggie. Oh, he tried the clip over the top. Well, I don't know where the offside was. I must have been somebody coming back, I think. Substitution to be made. Dave Gilbert's the man going off. Had a good game today, Dave Gilbert. And Craig Shakespeare will be the fella coming on. And old Shaky just probably put that a little bit more drive in midfield. I suspect probably that they might try and push Groves a little bit further forward. I don't know. We'll soon find out. Jason Lee. Southend throw.
I think that's a good move by the gaffer. The game's won, and let's see what Shakespeare can do in basically the same position Gilbert plays.
That's right. Yeah, it looks like that's more or less where Craig's going to end up being. So, Paul Crichton and Craig Shakespeare certainly left-hand side of midfield.
And Craig will certainly want to impress the gaffer, because the last place Craig wants to be is up here.
Through the middle from Futch there, and he was hoping somebody was going to make a bit of space. Long clearance, Graham Roger looking for it. John McDermott. Good play by McDermott. Mooney was following him. Gary Childs. 9 minutes of the game left. 4-0 to Town. Otto. Well, they let the ball run well. It was a good dummy. Now straight through the middle. Oh, good challenge by Aggie getting in there. Jason Lee was the man on the end of it. Gary Childs. Jim Dobbin towards Jempson. Graham Roger. Half touch on it by Groves. Now Mendonca. Shakespeare's made a lot of space here, left-hand side, and that's where it's come. Here is Craig Shakespeare, long distance. It's a good run. Probably would have done better to have looked inside him.
Well, Craig will say it was a pass, and Jempson will say it was a shot.
And I think that's about as much as we'll say about it. Up goes Lee. Groves, Futcher is in there, trying to turn. Got a toe end to it. Paul Crichton's clearance straight out, Southend throw. Yeah. Up goes Lee, good knock down. Graham Roger is there. Smashes it away to the halfway line. Powell underneath it. John McDermott. Gary Childs. There's the one through the middle. It's a great ball. Mendonca, surely. Let's have a look. Oh, over the top. He had to take it quickly.
Well, I don't know. It's all right. It's easy up here, John. Very easy up here. But I think if it had took it wide, we might have had another sending off. But we certainly would have had a go.
We could well have done. I think he tried his luck. Went for the early strike, and once again shaving the top of that crossbar. Aggie.
Yeah, I'd just like to say once again, it's very easy from up here what to do.
Dead right. But it's a lovely crossfield ball from Gary Childs. And there he is again. Otto, long distance and wide.
We'll see over the last couple of 2 or 3 seasons. Southend, they've always been very, very close matches, John, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
Especially when Webby was in charge in that. And, all right, that sending off probably changed the whole course of the game completely. But a bit disappointed. I mean, poor old Brett Angel there, you know, to be more or less say, no, you know, from Everton saying we don't want you. It must be a bit of a downer to come back and, you know, he needs somebody to lift his spirits, doesn't he?
That's right, and of course, he's a proven goal striker, is a chap, and he will get goals. And of course, we all thought to ourselves, well, we might be on the end of a bit of a backlash here, but we've not given him any space this afternoon, I'm glad to say. The only header he has really had in this second half, he plonked wide of the post. Now, Jempson Shakespeare, should I say, through the middle to Jempson. There's a ball laid off. Gary Childs through the middle again. He was trying to get in Clyde Mendonca. Here's Otto.
Yeah, I think Gary's been tried to be very unselfish there and give Clive the hat-trick.
That was right. The angle was a bit tight for him. Town's second substitution.
And Jemson also was unselfish, because I thought he could have had a shot, but he gave Gary Childs a chance.
Well-deserved round of applause for Paul Agnew, who's had a good game today. So Aggie goes off, Joblin comes on, straight substitution. It's nice to see young Kevin come on. I've always rated Kevin Joblin. I think he's a good, strong little player to have.
Yeah, he's had a lot of back trouble as Kevin, and him and Aggie are they are the two great pals in the team, and so Aggie won't mind letting him have a run for 3 or 4 minutes.
So all the subs used apart from Reese.
But I tell you what though, Aggie is having a bit of a twilight game, isn't he? I mean, he apparently he's been playing since I've been in America, but he certainly played. Apparently he's been playing very, very well indeed.
Yep, I reckon so, and well, he has done again today, so let's see what the new lads, Shaky and Joblin, can do. Free kick though for Southend in the meantime. Kevin Joblin is in there, trying to keep tight to Lee. Shaky's here as well. Corner given away.
I rather rate Craig Shakespeare, and I think he's a very good asset to the team. There's 4 minutes left, as Martin points out. God knows what he's going to do when it's 2.
So corner for Southend. Otto with it. Near post. Should be away now. Shakespeare up in the air. Got ice on it, that one. Oh, Groves pulled down. Whoops. Bit of argy-bargy. Referee just keeping his eye on it. It's going to fall for Town. Shakespeare. Jim Dobbin. Could have let it roll. Jemson. Now then, still going to fall for us. This is Groves, long distance. Just tried to thread it through for Clyde Mendonca, couldn't do so. And McDermott should see this off.
Well, there was a classic case of people trying to set other people up for more important goals. I don't think there was the argy-bargy. I think it was just one of them things, and Paul Groves is not that type of player anyway. What a ball. It certainly wasn't the man who ran through.
It wasn't Jim Dobbin, it was Clyde Mendonca, and he was just about offside, I reckon. It wasn't Jim Dobbin. I think he's given it on Jim Dobbin, but it wasn't. No, it was Mendonca, yeah. Grid light. Southend spreading it to the far side. Gary Childs is there, getting a throw. So another poor crowd in here, I'm afraid. 4,726. Town in the right half of the division. About 11 competitive games undefeated, and there's not 5,000 people here to see it on a beautiful October afternoon. 2 minutes of the game left. I think that's what Martin's saying. Southend throw.
It's very disturbing, that, John, isn't it? You know, less than 5,000 in the ground, and how well we have played and how well we're playing today.
Here's Otto. Gary Childs. Mendonca's the man forward. Still Clyde Mendonca, took it on the thigh. Wants support. Oh, good turn. Oh, shoved down from behind by Payne.
I suppose the excuse will be, you know, Christmas is coming on. But I mean, there's no excuse for a crowd that size. It's very, very disappointing.
Here's Groves. This is looking a bit more like it. There's a run into the space. Gary Childs gonna have to work to catch it, which he's done. Good cross. Oh, 2 waiting near post. It nearly got to them. Jim Dobbin now. Shakespeare. Took a deflection, I think. No. Patient build-up by Town. A minute of the game left, we reckon. Royce with a goal kick. Up goes Groves, good header. Mendonca trying to get in, can't do so, or can he? Challenges flying in there. Craig Shakespeare caught somebody, I think. Now then, Kevin Joblin won't catch it. Southend throw. So let's see, can Southend do anything right at their last? I doubt it. Paul Groves. Now Jempson, only man forward, knocks it back into the space. He's done well. Jim Dobbin, oh, he's trying to set it up for Gary Childs. Otto, nice touch off. Graham Roger, Gary Childs. We reckon that's about time. Jim Dobbin, there might be a chance right at the last here. It delayed it too long. Shakespeare. Joblin's here. This is Kevin Joblin, left-hand side. Wasn't the best of crosses by Joblin. The ball goes out for a corner. Now, are we going to get something at the last? 4-0 to Grimsby as we go into injury time. Joblin's cross to the far post is very, very deep. Set up now, Gary Childs into the middle again, and saved by Royce. Mooney. John McDermott with it. It's going to be a corner, I think. So from one end to the other. And the Southend fans behind the goal, well, they're well happy with the corner. Well, it's a long old haul from Southend to Grimsby, as we know. Mind you, at least when we play you lot, we don't have to. We always do it on a Friday night. That's even longer for us, I'm afraid. Otto's corner, taken by Crichton. Well, there is the final whistle, and it's rather ironic that Paul Crichton should end up with a ball, because that's about the most he's seen of it all game. The scoreline here is 4-0 to Grimsby Town. 2 goals to Clive Mendonca in the first half. First one after a lovely flick on from Jempson, second being the penalty, which you'll no doubt have a good look at. And 2 in the second half for Gary Childs, both long distance efforts. First into the top corner, second into the bottom corner. 4-0 scoreline. Southend played the part, but I'm afraid they never really threatened us seriously, did they, Rowley?
Well, I say I've been away and I've just had a look at the programme while you was doing that, John, and they're actually above us in the league. And if 2 strangers had walked in, you would have thought one was in a different league, because I thought Southend was very, very disappointing indeed. And they had a great start to the season under Barry Fry, and I'll tell you what, I can't see them getting any better, and I think they'll be struggling for the rest of the season. Grimsby did everything that was asked of them. I know it was against 10 men in, after that second goal, but I thought we won very, very comfortable indeed.
I think that's about right, Rowley. I think comfortable was about the best that we can describe that. It's Town 4, Southend 0, and it's down to Stoke at the weekend. Hopefully we can come back with something from there for you. Town 4, Southend 0. Well, sat alongside me now is Gary Childs, man who scored 2 goals here against Southend United in the 4-0 win. And the way things are going for you at the moment, Gary, well, you couldn't expect anything more, could you?
Well, no, that's right. Since I came into the side, things have been going pretty well. I've been enjoying my football, and I think a combination of enjoying my football and a bit more confidence, and things, like as you say, have been going well.
Now, you would know as much as anybody about Southend United side, because of course you've come along under the Buckley regime over the last few years, and they've always been a tough handful, but despite the sending off of the goalkeeper, it didn't seem as though it was going to be that case today, did it?
No, you always thought, I thought we played better before they had the player sent off in the first half, to be fair. So I don't think they come with the usual resolve that they usually do. They're usually a lot more dogged and hard working than they were today, but it's a little bit hard to tell, as you say, with sending off.
And what were the instructions at half-time from the dressing room? Because there you are, you're sat on a 2-goal lead, you've got the reserve goalkeeper sat there between the sticks, playing against 10 men. What does Arthur Mann and Alan Buckley say to you?
basically the gaffer was more interested in us getting the ball, passing it around, making them work, because obviously with them having 10 men, we've got a spare man somewhere. So if we pass the ball around enough, we're going to make openings, whatever. And he wanted to see us playing the good football that we should be playing. We can usually outpass most teams in the division, let alone with 10 men. So he was more interested in just getting us to get hold of the ball and pass it rather than trying to hit the winners all the time and get goals, you know, because he said if we pass right, the goals will come.
The strikes from yourselves, 2 particularly splendid efforts. The first one, of course, was top corner stuff.
That's right, yeah. It had a bit of a swerve on it, and I don't think the goalie read it very well, but it's nice to see that go in. The second one was a bit fortunate, bounced just before the goalie, and I don't think he read the slice on that one either. So,
But no such thing as a bad 4-0 win, of course.
well, obviously not. I mean, you know, teams have still got to be there to be beaten, whether they've got 10 men or not, and you've still got to score goals. So.
Going back to last week, of course, fine game for you down at Oxford. Shot it in the crossbar, which young Jempson put away. Very disappointing, though, to have given away probably, well, 2 points, 3 points.
Well, it's your worst nightmare. You get a goal in the 89th minute and they get one straight back. You know, you think you've got the game won. Obviously, with that game and the Sunderland game, we felt as though we dropped 4 points. You know, both games we were in the driving seat.
And on a more personal note now, Gary Childs is a Grimsby Town player. Is that still the case?
Well, it is. I'm still under contract. I'm on a week-to-week contract with Grimsby. As I say, I'm enjoying my football, so nothing's changed at the moment.
Eyes open for you or whatever, or is the intention to move on eventually?
As I say, while I'm enjoying my football, I'm not, you know, I'm at Grimsby at the moment. I'm enjoying my football in Grimsby, so there's no reason why I shouldn't stay here if the gaffer wants me here. It'll be out of my hands if other clubs want me and the gaffer wants me to go. So all I've got to do really is just, as I say, carry on enjoying my football and hopefully playing well.
Well, I think Gary Childs has certainly been doing that over the last few games, and we certainly hope it carries on for plenty more to come as well, Gary. Thanks very much, and we hope the goals keep coming.
Thanks very much, so do I.
Gary Childs.
Well, Clive, I rushed here straight from Manchester Airport today and saw a very good performance by Grimsby Town. 4-0.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we've won 4-0 today, but for me, it was all over when the goalkeeper got sent off. Personally, I don't agree with the rule. I don't think he should have got sent off. I thought he should have got booked and that would be it, because it would have been a much fairer game with 11 men. Yeah, as soon as he got sent off, I thought that would have been it. We won the game.
Yeah, but to be fair to the referee, he had no option, did he?
Yeah, I mean, that's the rule. It states if he brings a man down, he sends him off. But for me, I just don't agree with it. And as I say, I thought he should have just got booked and that would have been it. Like.
Well, I was talking to the lads on the gantry there, and I thought, you know, the last two or three seasons when we played Southend, they've been very hard games indeed. And I thought today, I honestly did think today was a walkover.
Yeah, that's right. From the start, I thought we went out and set our stall out, and we started off well. As you say, Southend, the last 2 seasons have been really hard games, but today I thought Southend looked really poor. But credit to us because we played some good stuff, I thought.
I thought we played some excellent football today, and it got very interesting. And you scored twice, and then Gary, well, he scored once and then was gifted his second one, and we shan't talk about that 4th goal, shall we? And it was a case of who was going to get the hat-trick. Now, I must tell you, John Moore plumped for Gary, but I plumped for you. But as it turned out, we were both wrong.
Yeah, that's right. I was trying to get my hat-trick. I had a few chances. In fact, I should have had about 5 today, but I mean, Gary was unlucky with a shot as well. He nearly got his hat-trick, but it's just a pity one of us didn't really.
And how do you see the season, you know, going on for Grimsby Town from now? Because we must be in the top 6 now.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a good start. Hopefully, if we don't get any injuries, because like we haven't got the biggest of squads to start with, I'm sure we can be fighting for promotion all the way.
And of course, you on a personal note, I think you must be the leading goal scorer. You certainly are in the area, but you must be somewhere in the league.
Well, I'm not sure about that, to tell the truth. I've scored 10 goals in 12 games. I just take every game as it comes and hopefully get the goals. But I'm not bothered if I'm the top goal scorer in the league or not. As I say, I just take each game as it comes, and I love scoring goals.
Thank you very much indeed, Clive.
Thank you.